On the home road, I roll alone. Stars above.
Welcome back, my sidewalk-soaked stoics, my trust-testing travelers, my belief-battered boulevard thinkers. Hobo Yeti here from a blackberry thorn perimeter behind an abandoned loading dock where the ground's so honest it'll tell you your future. Spoiler, it's more gravel. And hope wears out quicker than socks from the dollar store. Tonight we're not talking about faith that floats you through the sky or lets you walk on water. This is the faith you scrape up after reality's mugged you twice before breakfast, the kind that doesn't care what you claim to believe, only that you keep dragging your bruised optimism forward like a bad shopping cart. Homeless faith isn't angelic, it's desperate, sarcastic, mostly involuntary, and frankly, can't afford to be choosy. You find it where you lose everything else. After a tent collapse, in a parking lot at midnight, or between bites of a sandwich you're almost certain expired last week. This is faith measured in minutes, not miracles. It's about making tomorrow possible, or at least not completely laughable. Out here, you learn trust the hard way. One misstep, one eye roll, one out-of-date can of beans at a time. One, faith in the next hour, not the next year. Big dreams are for people with calendars. Out here, faith means putting one suspiciously dry foot in front of the other and betting the world won't open a sinkhole under you in the next 60 minutes. You don't bother visualizing next week because last Tuesday is still following you around, demanding rent. Faith isn't about manifesting abundance, it's about manifesting a bathroom with a lock and maybe a toilet seat. You learn that the universe owes you nothing except possibly another series of unfortunate events, and that's fine. Faith on the road means believing the next hour probably won't kill you, and if it tries, at least you'll get a good story for that memoir nobody's buying. Miracles are rare, but weird persistence gets you through. Second faith that bad days end without permission. The weather's trash, the food's wet, and your lucky socks have holes in strategic locations. Road faith teaches you that even when the universe seems to be auditioning for a cosmic prank show, the day still has to end. You survive not out of strength, but out of sheer, unearned stubbornness. That's faith, knowing misery clocks out eventually, even if it leaves a mess in the break room. Nobody hands you a participation ribbon for making it through. The main promise is that the worst days, like bad sitcoms, eventually get canceled by time itself. You keep going because stopping is boring, and frankly, you're curious what else can go wrong. Endurance is the only real prize, and you win by not losing. Third faith in small systems that still work. If you trust the government, you probably also believe in the Tooth Fairy's pension plan. Faith on the road means believing in things that don't have a PR department. Gravity works every time. Sunrises, reluctant but punctual. And canned beans, expiration date is a suggestion. Water boils, hunger nags, and cardboard is, unfortunately, waterproof on only one side. These are the tiny, sarcastic miracles you actually depend on. You put faith in muscle memory, gut feelings, and that one light in the distance you know is a gas station, not divine intervention. The world's basic rules keep showing up for work even when you don't. You stop waiting for magic and start trusting your own survival instincts to keep you, mostly, vertical. Fourth faith in motion over planning. Planning out here is like drawing blueprints for a sandcastle. Pretty, then instantly destroyed by the next random wave or cop with a flashlight. The only plan that matters is forward motion, powered by caffeine, spite, or just not wanting to become a statistic before noon. Faith is the grumpy voice in your head that says, keep moving, genius, or you'll be explaining your life to a raccoon. You put trust in momentum, knowing that stillness makes you a target for boredom, bad weather, or existential dread. Plans get eaten by the day. Motion is what gets you to the next mess, which, let's be honest, is still better than staying put and becoming part of the scenery. 5. Faith that you're more durable than you think. Out here, the inspirational posters are all covered in mildew, and the motivational speeches come from squirrels judging your food choices. You find out you can survive more cold, stupidity, and municipal nonsense than you ever thought possible. Faith on the road means betting you'll bend, not break, even when the wind is busy impersonating an ex with boundary issues. You collect accidental proof of your own resilience. One bad haircut, one lost glove, one frozen boot at a time. You start to realize that you're like a rubber band with trust issues, stretched out, weirdly useful, occasionally snapped, but never truly finished. You're not unbreakable, just extremely difficult to put out of commission. Sixth faith without applause. Nobody's out here handing you gold stars for surviving a rainstorm with only mild hypothermia and half your dignity intact. The closest you get to applause is the sound of your own stomach growling approval when you finally score a snack that's not from the last resort pile. Faith becomes a private joke, something you do for yourself. because the world isn't keeping score. You keep showing up, stacking small wins, and collecting invisible trophies like didn't get arrested today and successfully evaded another motivational speaker. Road faith is stubborn, thankless, and secretly proud. It doesn't need witnesses. It just needs you to keep going when nobody would blame you for quitting. Seventh faith, that help isn't required to continue. Help is a rumor, rescue is a myth, and anyone offering a hand probably wants something you can't spare. Road faith is about moving forward, whether or not anyone shows up to cheer, patch your tent, or offer therapy in a drive-through lane. You patch yourself up, jury-rig solutions, and keep your expectations so low even the government can't disappoint you. Every day you make it alone adds another layer to your self-reliance armor, which is waterproof until it isn't. Trust is a DIY project. Cheap materials, questionable engineering, but somehow it holds together. You learn to clap for yourself and to treat help as a bonus, not a requirement. 8. Faith in adaptation, not stability. Stability is an endangered species out here. The city's mood swings harder than a raccoon on Red Bull. Camps vanish, rules mutate, and your best hiding spot turns into a yoga class for angry retirees. Faith mutates into the belief that you'll figure out a workaround even as your last solution is being dismantled by progress or rain. You learn to pivot, to improvise, to laugh at your own failed strategies, and to treat chaos as an ongoing invitation to invent something new. It's less about believing things will settle and more about trusting you'll never run out of bad ideas that occasionally work. Ninth faith, that meaning can be deferred. Meaning is overrated, especially when your main concern is not freezing to death before your next meal. Faith on the road is being okay with not knowing why you're here, why things suck, or why the universe thought you needed another lesson in humility. You keep moving because standing still invites too many questions, none of which are useful. The road teaches you that sometimes survival is its own kind of purpose, and if understanding ever shows up, it'll be late, unshaven, and probably smell like burnt coffee. Faith is letting the story be unfinished, trusting that if meaning is coming, it'll find you eventually, probably asking for spare change. 10. Faith that tomorrow exists, even if it's unfriendly. Out here, the one belief that keeps you from pitching yourself into the nearest drainage ditch is that tomorrow, while probably just as rude as today, will still happen. You don't expect sunshine, just continuity. Faith isn't about predicting good things, just betting that the calendar will keep flipping even if you run out of reasons to care. The road's only real promise is that another day always shows up, late, ugly, and dragging its own suitcase of nonsense. But as long as you're moving, you've got a shot at making the next day slightly less embarrassing than the last. The real education of the road isn't spiritual, unless you count the revelation that duct tape, sarcasm, and a refusal to die of boredom are sacred. Faith out here gets stripped down, roasted over open flame, and served with a heaping side of skepticism. Every day is a reminder that the world doesn't care about your plans, but it does respond to stubbornness and dumb hope. You trust what's left after reality's finished its little comedy routine. It's not elegant, but it's real. Out here, belief is measured in coffee stains, shoe tread, and the absurdity of still giving a damn when giving up would be easier. I hope your road is a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. And remember, belief doesn't need to be loud, pure, or permanent. It just needs to get you through the next step. Later.